Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fleming Film Talk with me, Robbie Fleming, and joining me as always is Justin Doyle. Hello, Justin.
Hey Rob, what's going on?
Not much, but today's episode I've been looking forward to because I don't think many people give much attention to the child stars in movies.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, so I thought today, why don't we do our top five favorite performances from child actors?
Well, I love that. I'm a big fan of doing things that we haven't done before. This is definitely something we haven't done.
Yeah.
And yeah, talking about are you around kids much?
No, I don't have any children, and because I'm an only child, I don't have nieces and nephews.
Yeah. Well,
But there
that's
are kids. But there are kids that come into my work and obviously spill popcorn over the floors for me to clean up.
that's always fun.
Yes, but in reality, a cat's just enough for me.
Yeah, a couple of dogs my way are good too. I have nieces and nephews. I'm around kids almost every day at work and stuff, so uh, I enjoy them, and yeah, they are in almost every movie as well. So
Yeah,
it's
yes, and some of them you can tell are just started acting, so they're not as talented as they grow up to be. But some of them do have the natural talent already.
yeah, some are born with it, some grow into it, but
And I
yeah,
don't like to criticize their performances too much because they are only kids. So I know the Razzies had that controversy recently
what was the controversy?
that they nominated the little girl for Firestarter for worst actress, and
Oh,
they
right, right.
they changed it so it's over 18s now. Is that going to be a rule with the Oscars now? So I think if a child does a good performance and they're worth best actor or best actress or supporting categories, give them a nomination.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of kids have been nominated for Oscars and such, so let's
Yes.
see if any of them
One
made
did.
our list.
Yes, one of them did mine. Do you mind if I kick off?
Let's hear it.
All right, my number five was the first person I gave the Best Young Performer award to. It's from a little indie movie that came out in 2001. This movie was quite important because it was a comeback of an Oscar winner who had a hiatus, Joaquin Phoenix. But he is outacted in this movie by a young boy in Mike Mills's Come On, Come On. He is outacted by Woody Norman, who plays his young nephew in this movie.
One of your favies.
Yes.
I mean, just come on already. Come on. Tell us about it.
So in this movie, Joaquin Phoenix is a journalist who goes around America and interviewing children, asking them what the future's going to be like. And he has to take his nephew with him because his sister's looking after her ex-husband as he's had a mental breakdown. So, and Joaquin learns something new from his nephew.
And what did you like about the kid?
I think he was a really naturally talented actor. He really stole the movie. Like every scene he was in, he was just dynamic, and of course he was working with one of the best actors. And it's weird that a little kid gives a better performance than an Oscar-winning actor. Not to say Joaquin was bad in this movie; he was also fantastic. But Woody was the heart and the soul to this movie.
Yeah, nice.
He was
I
also nominated for a BAFTA for this film as well, but I think he lost to Troy Kotsu.
that is A tough one to beat.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, my internet is really crazy right now, not connecting, so I can't really give lots of other information about this. Who else is in this movie?
Scoot McNairy.
Love me some Scoot.
I can't remember who the actress who played the mum was, but the lad that voiced the kid in Strange World is in this too. Jack Jackie B. Young White.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Gabby Hoffman's the one that plays Joaquin's sister.
Yeah, she was in Uncle Buck.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I can try it from my phone.
Yes. Well, I think the best thing about Mike Mills is that he knows he's working with good actors, and even though he's working with a low budget, he still manages to make a good movie out of this low budget.
Yeah. Yeah. It's in black and white. Sometimes that's a little hard to deal with, but if you can look past that, it's still great film.
Yeah.
And I agree that he was fantastic and did outshine Mr. Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
Yeah, over on Rotten Tomatoes, it's already got a high score, 94%, 79% audience score. I wonder what they didn't enjoy about it.
It's probably because it's not like an action movie, it's a drama, but it's an interesting drama.
Yeah, absolutely. Very sweet, very subtle. Not it has a great
But,
message,
but,
but nothing
but
like
it does have fantastic shots.
fantastic shots. Yes. Where are they? Is New York City?
They go to New York, Los Angeles, and yeah, they go to New Orleans as well.
Nice.
I know Cody loves this movie as well.
Yeah, I mean it's just very sweet. The dynamic between the two are great, and you can tell that it was a breath of fresh air for Joaquin Phoenix, who didn't have to do much, on the acting side as much as
Especially
he's
after
used to.
doing Joker, which was quite intense for him.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cool. I'm
It
still
only
trying to
it
get.
only made half its budget at the box office.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the budget
yeah,
was 8.3 million, and the box office was only 4.5 million.
huh?
Well, I think it
Yeah.
would have been bigger if it was more. If obviously 2021 was we were still kind of getting over COVID, and by that time it was starting to get worse. We were still wearing face masks at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one is more of a word of mouth, sort of spread it around and let people
Yeah,
know about it because yeah, it's a sleeper.
yeah, it's a sleeper hit.
I thought it had some Oscar potential, but
Yeah, I'm
was
surprised that it didn't get
left.
any Oscars.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. Okay, well, I'll try to do my best with what I got as far as the Wi-Fi situation here.
Yeah.
Did you say what year yours came out?
What? Come on, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year
Yeah.
was it? 2020?
2021.
21. Nice.
Oh, and it's 7.4 on IMDb.
Okay. Great. All right. My number 5 is from a kid's performance. This is one of my all-time favorites. Got to actually visit where some of it was shot, and when I went to visit San Francisco, There are three kids in this, but one really shined to me, and that little girl is Mara Wilson, played Natalie Hillard in Mrs. Doubtfire.
Great
The
choice.
young little girl in Mrs. Doubtfire. She has a classic line where she's mimicking what her dad said, which is, "We're his goddamn kids too." And it's just a perfect sort of kid moment because that really happens. You know, we mimic kids mimic what they hear and what they see, and she did that, which really makes me chuckle every time I see it. But her sort of sweetness and uh, she hasn't been through life. You know, the other two are a little bit older, but her sort of innocence made this her performance really shine. And when kids go through divorces, it's really tough. And I think she portrayed her character really well. Maybe she had similar life in her similar story in her life where maybe her parents got divorced, but
Yeah.
she
I
really
saw I saw a whole YouTube video when she was filming Matilda. Danny DeVito looked after her because her mum was dying.
oh, it's really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, she could have been up for Matilda as well because her performance in Matilda is, pretty good as well. So
yeah,
I just really enjoy Mrs. Doubtfire
yeah.
more than Matilda, and then I
Well,
also
it
think,
sounds like she
her.
was looked after, so I bet Robin probably looked after her on set.
Yeah, directed by Chris Columbus,
Yeah,
starring Robin Williams and Sally Field and Pierce
yes,
Brosnan.
yes,
Also, Lisa Jacob and Matthew Lawrence were the other young kids in there.
yes,
Robert Prosky, who played Mr. Lundy,
yes.
Martin Mull. It is a great, great comedy and
And another
tugs at
actor
all the
I like
heartstrings.
in it is Harvey Firestein.
Harvey Firestein.
Yeah, he played his brother.
Yeah, Frank Hillard. Yeah, he's great.
He is.
Be gentle with this one. Yeah, it's just a great movie about a
Yes,
dad who
I rewatched it recently, and the more you think about it, he technically is kind of a criminal in this, and Pierce Brosnan's not really a villain. The more you think about it, the only bad thing he does is slag him off.
yeah, I mean it's perfect. Yeah, he kind of talks crap about him, but doesn't mean I don't see him as necessarily the worst guy. Yeah, because all he was doing was just falling for a lady who had kids. But
Yeah,
yeah, this is after a divorce. Robin Williams still wants to be around his kids, and the best way for him to do that is to dress up like a woman and become their nanny. And hilarity ensues. One of the greatest performances, one of the
yeah,
greatest movies, and one of the greatest kid performances, Mara Wilson in Mrs. Doubtfire. My number five.
yes, good pick.
Seven, yeah, 7.1 on IMDb. A budget of 25 million, worldwide gross 441.2 million. When I was a kid, my mom would really wanted to see this movie, and us kids, there's three of us, did not. We're acting not like we should, and she's like, "I want to go see this movie so bad that you kids don't deserve it, but let's go." And we went and saw it in theaters, and I loved it then, and I love it now.
You were only 8 at the time.
Yeah, pretty good.
Nice. Nice. It's weird I didn't watch this film till I was 24.
Yeah. My parents watched everything. The only way we would be able to watch TV sometimes if we just watched what they watched. So that's why my love of movie. That's where it started from, is because I just watched everything.
Nice.
70% on Rotten Tomatoes, 77% audience score for Mrs. Doubtfire. So, yeah, 7.1 on IMDb.
Nice. Great choice.
Yeah, won one Oscar, and I'm assuming it's for makeup. Yep. All right, you're number four.
My number 4 is from a movie with an Oscar winning performance. it sadly isn't this actor, but this little kid outacts the whole adult cast, and even in a short role. And this actor grew up to be a really massive child star, because he went on to star in such children's classics as the Stuart Little films, The Little Vampire, and Like Mike. But he started off in Jerry Maguire, and this actor's name is Jonathan Lipnicki.
You said. Yep. Another classic kid swearing, and because they're so cute, you forgive them.
Yes.
Well, tell us about this movie.
So Jerry Maguire is the sport agent played by Tom Cruise. It's a sports drama, but also a romantic comedy, and his client's Cuba Gooding Jr. So obviously he's sorting him out, but the subplot is that he falls in love with Renee Zellweger, and Jonathan Lipnicki is her little boy.
Yes. I watched two movies this weekend, one having Tom Cruise and one having Renee Zellweger. So here they are in one movie together.
Yes.
This one's directed by Cameron Crowe. Also stars
Great
Cuba
director.
Gooding Jr., Kelly Preston, Jerry O'Connell, Jay Moore, Regina King.
Yep.
And yeah, Tom
I've
Cruise,
only
maybe one of his better performances.
I've only seen 3 of Cameron Crowe's movies.
Is Aloha one of them?
No, Almost Famous and Vanilla Sky are the other 2.
Ah,
And of the 3, I'd say Almost Famous is the better one.
you haven't seen Say Anything. Wow.
I'll have to.
Elizabethtown, We Bought a Zoo,
I've always wanted to watch that.
Aloha, The Union. Is that
Oh,
a
it's a
documentary?
about Elton John.
Elton John and
Yeah.
Leon Russell.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think Almost Famous, Vanilla Sky, and Say Anything are probably his most popular movies. Jerry Maguire did get a lot of love at the time. Yeah, Cameron Crowe. Where did he go? He said aloha, and that also means goodbye.
He made a show called Roadies, but it only lasted a season.
Yeah, I like Jerry Maguire a lot. I think it is one of Tom Cruise's better performances, actually. This movie did really well. Nominated for 5 Oscars, winning 1. Was nominated for Best Picture, Best Lead Actor, 1 for Best Supporting Actor in Cuba Gooding Jr., nominated for Screenplay and Film Editing.
Where's he gone, Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah, good question. I do think he's a good actor, and he's great in this. He's an up and coming football player, and he's trying to get the best money. And Jerry Maguire is trying to get him that, and he's kind of basing his whole career on one player, which is not something that you want to do when you're a bookie for athletes. But the last thing that Cuba was in was The Weapon that came out this year, and it looks like it's a straight to DVD. But yeah.
Sounds like he must have annoyed somebody to do low budget movies.
Guess so. Fantastic pick, and of course, in a movie where Tom Cruise doesn't really have much to do with it except acting and whatnot, he still is above the title, which is insane.
Yeah.
That's how big of a star he is. 7.3 on IMDb. Budget of $50 million. Worldwide gross, 273.5. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, 84% with an audience score of 79. Looks like you can see this on Peacock. Yep, you can see it on Peacock.
Yes, and it has 2 iconic quotes. Show me the money and you had me at hello.
Yeah. Good pick.
Who's your number?
All right. My number 4 is actually a tie because it's the entire cast. This movie, if you go back and watch it now, maybe it's not necessarily made for adults, but it is super, super cute. And if you show your kids at any age, until about 12 to 13, maybe, they would enjoy this as well. Spawned from a TV series, this is a movie that I enjoyed because Travis Tedford and Bug Hall and Kevin Jamal Woods and Zachary Mabry and Jordan Warkall and Ross Bagley are fantastic as the Little Rascals. What a cast of little kids. This is
I've not seen this movie before.
so much fun. Have you heard of it?
Yes, and I've heard of the Little Rascals from the 30s.
Yeah. So, sort of the lead of this movie, Alfalfa, is wooing the other lead, Darla, even though his friends want to join a He-Man woman-hating club, and they sabotage his relationship. He's a little bit torn because he likes girls, and the little boys don't like girls.
But this
They're all really young.
the film I like that came out before this called Wayne's World.
There you go, Penelope Spheres. But yeah, this is just a sweet little movie. Your things when you're this young, cooties are a thing, and you don't really, even though it's not a real thing, but you kind of do go along with what your friends are doing, and this is how we used to do things. When I was a kid, we'd go out, we'd be going around the neighborhood, causing little troubles, starting clubs. Nowadays people like to stay inside and talk to people over Skypes and gaming, situations. But yeah, this was a little slice of life in my sort of world. Came out in 1994, so I was still under 10 at that time, and really, really had a good time with this. This is a perfect kids movie.
Wow,
And
you were 9 years old when I was born.
How about that? Mel Brooks and Whoopi Goldberg and Daryl Hannah also are in this
Nice.
sweet little movie. I highly, highly recommend it, and it's just sweet and will make you giggle to yourself. And of course, the dog that plays Petey, the dog that plays Petey is super cute as well.
Nice.
But yeah, my number 4 is the entire cast of the Little Rascals because they are just so dang cute and sweet. Over on IMDb, it's a 6.3. Budget of $23 million. Worldwide gross 67.3. So that's pretty good for back in the day. Over on Rotten Tomatoes, however, a big 21% from the critics. Only 14 reviews. Audience, however, with over 100,000 reviews, 70%. It's only an hour and 22 minutes. Goes down quick.
Not bad. I'll have to check it out one day.
It's also playing in theaters again. And let's see if you can see it anywhere else. You can rent it for $4.
Not bad.
Across all platforms. Yeah. I don't think we've seen any of these kids again, though. As adults, I don't think we've seen them work again.
I think I saw Bug Hall was in an American Pie movie, but that's about it. I don't think it was on the main one. It was one of the straight to DVD.
Yeah, The Book of Love.
I didn't see that one. I've seen Beta House and The Naked Mile, but that's about it. Oh, I've seen Bandcamp.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Yep.
What's your number 3?
The first woman to appear on this list. So this performance caused a lot of controversy because not only was this little girl saying words she shouldn't have been saying for that age, but she was also performing graphic, violent stunts. And this is in a movie that defied a generation, introduced us to a lot of young actors and some actors who got their break and kind of showed the world that Nicolas Cage can actually act. But who outshines everybody in this cast is a little girl called Chloe Grace Moretz, who plays Hit Girl in Kick-Ass.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And also ran for me.
Yes.
Tell us about Kick-Ass.
So Kick-Ass is a weird movie because it's trying to set out that person to be a real life superhero, but it's got loads of over the top action. And when Kick-Ass is starting off as Kick-Ass, he runs into an encounter with Hit Girl, and her introduction scene is brilliant because you see Kick-Ass is getting intimidated by this gang of drug dealers, and she kills every single one in the bloodiest way possible.
Yeah, she's a young lady who literally kicks ass. Kick-Ass is played by Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yes.
Which probably one of the first times I've seen him, but he's trying to become a Batman type of superhero, even though he doesn't really have the skills to become one. And then along the way, he meets these other people who, pretend to be superheroes, who try to be superheroes, and that's including Chloe Grace Moretz, but her father is Mr.
Nicolas Cage.
Exactly, who's playing a Batman, a version of Batman.
And he has a tragic backstory on why he trains her up to be Hit Girl as well, which. But when you look at it now, you kind of think it's messed up.
Yeah.
You're training a little girl to kill drug dealers in the most violent way possible.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I like the movie. It's got some comedy to it, but it is brutal with the action. Yeah, Matthew Vaughn wrote and directed this movie.
Yes.
Also did the
We'll have to rank
Kingsman
his movies one day because he's got a new film coming out in January.
Argyle.
Yes.
He has directed Layer Cake, Stardust, Kick-Ass, X-Men First Class, Kingsman: The Secret Service, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and The Kingsman.
Yes.
And yeah, I think I would need to see maybe Stardust and a rewatch of Layer Cake. But yeah,
I want to rewatch Layer Cake, to be fair.
Yeah, this is great. I don't know if they needed a sequel. I am
I've
happy that Jim.
rewatched the sequel recently, and it's not that good as the first one. And even though Jim Carrey's in it, he couldn't save it, but he did slag it off.
Yeah, he did a really good job trying to save it because he was awesome in it. But yeah, it's just not. It's just doesn't live up to the first. And yeah, he Jim Carrey kind of gave some anti against Kick-Ass 2 now years later, but he was sure happy about doing the movie in the payday.
He said the Sandy Hook shooting changed his mind.
Yeah. Also starring Evan Peters and Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Mark Strong. Pretty good cast and great action movie.
I think with Mark, I was thinking about this, and even though Mark Strong was in films before Kick-Ass, this kind of made him more of a name.
Who?
Mark Strong.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's been around for a while. I really like him.
Yeah, I like him.
I was just thinking about Aaron Taylor Johnson, who in this movie kind of was like a Tobey Maguire to start, but if you look at him now, I mean, he's like one of the hottest leading guys out there. I mean, he's going to be in that new movie Craven,
yes.
And on the poster,
and he's rumored to play James Bond.
Right, and on the poster, he's just without his shirt on, and like all the girls, and I'm sure some guys are like, "Ooh la la."
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good actor. He's actually one of the better ones out there that should be working more and doesn't work as much.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad Nolan saved his career, giving him a supporting role in Tenet.
Yeah, I really like him in Savages, which is a great film. Also, Nocturnal Animals is great.
Oh,
And then
he's brilliant in that,
he was recently in Bullet Train.
which is also good. And before Kick-Ass, he was in Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, which is quite a funny film. And the year before Kick-Ass, he played John Lennon in Nowhere Boy.
That's right. Lots of TV. It's done a lot.
Oh, he's done what every British actor has started off in, a little old cop series called The Bill.
Okay.
Keep saying they need to bring that back so the new generation of actors can come in.
Nice. Cool. Well, that's a very good one, and I bet it on a lot of other people's list as well. Sitting at 7.6 on IMDb, budget of $30 million, worldwide gross to 96.1. I thought it would be more. Wonder if I'm sure the second one did better. 77% of Rotten Tomatoes, which is certified fresh. 81% from the audience.
No, Kick-Ass 2 did worse.
Dang.
It was made on 2 million less, and then he made 60 million.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
I don't get why they cut the budget by 2 million.
But yeah, see, just didn't need a second one.
Yeah, and I'm not interested in a reboot because they don't make films like Kick-Ass anymore.
No. All right, yeah, lots of close hand-to-hand combat in that one.
Yeah.
Close-up stuff. Okay. All right, my number 3. I mean, it could be number 1. This is my top 3 are just so amazing. Recently reviewed this, not on Worth of View Movies, but we rewatched this. Did I? I might have. Had a great time. Always have a great time. Seen this movie a bunch of times, but not only is the main character fantastic and we all know and love him, but his supporting actor, his supporting co-host in this one is a little boy, but not just one little boy. Twins, because they played the same character. That's right. I am talking about the young boy in 1999's Adam Sandler's Big Daddy.
Did you know Adam Sandler got the role in Punch Drunk Love because of Big Daddy, and Paul Thomas Anderson was a massive fan of it?
That is a great anecdote. I love that. Yeah, Cole Sprouse and Dylan Sprouse played Julian Frankenstein. And what happens here is after, Adam Sandler is not big on what is it called? The responsibilities. And so he adopts a kid to impress his girlfriend. It doesn't go as planned because it turns out she was cheating on him, and then now is stuck with this kid. And they just become best friends and learn from each other. And it turns out that it's actually his roommate's real kid. And he gets into some trouble because this is illegal, But the annex, that the stuff that they get into and the fun that they have is just really sweet. And Dylan and Cole did a great job just playing Frankenstein and really tugging at all the heartstrings and making us feel a lot of things, not only love, but sadness as well. I mean, poor kid has to go through so much at such a young age. And Adam Sandler is learning all the responsibilities because there's nothing harder to do responsibly than to take care of a kid. But he does a pretty good job at it, and keeps him alive at least. But if you haven't seen Big Daddy, it's one of Adam Sandler's best, and it's kind of like a big brother sort of situation. But Also starring Joey Lauren Adams,
Yes.
Jon Stewart,
Yes.
Josh Mossel, Leslie Mann. One of the first times we've seen her. Rob Schneider makes a couple of appearances, and then of course all the people that are always in his movies, his little friends. But Chris,
Jonathan Malran, Peter Dante, Steve Buscemi.
yep, Christy Swanson.
She has the same birthday as me.
Oh, nice,
Oh,
beautiful lady.
Alan Covert as well. He's really good.
This is the same director, Dennis Duggan, as Happy Gilmore, which is another Adam Sandler movie. But he also did Problem Child, which I loved as a kid, Beverly Hills Ninja, National Security, which isn't bad, Benchwarmers, and I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. A lot of Adam Sandler movies. You don't mess with the Zohan. Grown Ups, just go with it. Jack and Jill, Grown Ups 2. And recently in 2020, he did Love, Weddings, and Other Disasters.
Diane Keaton and Jeremy Irons. How did he end up working with those two?
Mm-hmm. Of course, the Sprouse kids are both doing their own thing. One, I believe, is on Riverdale.
Yes.
So, yeah, they're still working. And I just love this movie. Tons of fun and really, really sweet. And those Sprouse kids are so dang cute. 6.4. You've seen this?
Yes, I have.
Okay. 6.4 on IMDb. $34 million budget. Worldwide gross, 234.8.
It's Cole who's on Riverdale. And Dylan, what's he doing? He's just doing like the odd movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was he Moonlight? Moon Landing? I'll take a look.
Beautiful Disaster, My Fake Boyfriend, Tiger, The Curse of Turadot, After We Collide.
Beautiful Disaster, you say that?
Yeah, Beautiful Disaster.
Yeah, I saw that movie, and it was a beautiful disaster. 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, 74% from the audience, though, and 6.4 on IMDb.
I wanna hear Paul Thomas Anderson have a full review on Big Daddy now.
Yeah, amazing. Everyone loves Big Daddy.
Yes.
I have a shirt from Big Daddy, Scuba Steve.
Nice.
Scuba Steve, damn you. Fun movie.
Do you play the kangaroo song?
No. Hop, 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 hop. What do you say? All right. Your number 2.
My number 2 is an actual kid that got an Oscar nomination, and from what I've heard of Michael Caine's performance in The Cider House Rules, he should have been one of the winners in reality. This kid later went on to have big success in Hollywood. He only does like the odd bit of acting now, but I think he's a very talented person. This is Haley Joe Osmond, and he was nominated for his role in The Sixth Sense.
Is that your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Nice. Tell us about it.
So, without giving the ending away, it's about a little boy who sees ghosts, and he goes to a psychiatrist, and he's telling him about his visions of seeing the dead. His mum's a bit skeptical on why, like she doesn't believe him and stuff. And this psychiatrist is going through a lot of problems, like he's having to handle disgraced former clients of his, and his wife's ignoring him. And when you see this movie and you hear the ending, your mind is completely blown, even though you kind of see it happening from the beginning.
Yeah, well, this is written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, so you
Yes.
know that there's a twist at the end of his movies. So
Yes.
That's that. Um, but yeah, really shook up the movie industry a little bit because of not only the twist, but because of the performances. Yeah, Haley Joel Osment really gave it his all. So much, in fact, where he didn't have too much success after this movie. I mean, even now we don't even see him around much, except for
AI
on.
Artificial Intelligence was a successful movie.
Yeah, but I'm saying not much success, which I'm right. I'm saying, uh, but
So
yeah,
appearing in an episode of The Boys isn't successful.
no, definitely not. Um, but yeah, I mean, you get sometimes that happens. Is you give those great performances at the beginning, and then we don't really see you much anymore. He does have straight to DVD sort of movies. He likes to hang around with Kevin Smith a lot, but this movie did well. Nominated for 6 Oscars.
Well, that's
Uh,
a well, he's a good guy to kind of have in his circle because Kevin Smith normally relies on like a circle of actors and crew, so it's good that he's in a circle for a
yeah,
lead director.
right. Nominated for 6 Oscars, not winning any, but nominated for Best Picture, Best Actor in a Supporting Role, which Haley Joel Osment was nominated, but should have been lead. Best Actress in the Supporting Role for Toni Collette. Director M. Night, writing M. Night, and editing. Also starring Bruce Willis, who did a great job.
Yes.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Yes.
Misha Barton, who was in One Tree Hill, I believe. That
Not it's
TV
not
show.
one. It's the OC
The OC, same thing.
and Olivia
uh,
Williams, who was in Rushmore the year before.
nice. Yeah, this movie is pretty freaky. I
Oh, this
think.
also stars Trevor Morgan, who was a little boy in Jurassic Park 3.
Okay. But yeah, this movie is scary and tense and well written. Has makes you nervous the entire time, wondering what's happening, what's gonna happen. And Haley Joel Osment is the superstar of this movie.
Yes, it's a shame what's happened to Bruce Willis.
Yeah, absolutely. 8.2 on IMDb, ranked 143 overall out of 250. Did pretty well in the box office, $40 million worldwide gross, 672.8. Because as soon as you hear, oh, there's crazy ending, but I can't tell you, you just gotta see it for yourself. People went out and saw it. 86% on Rotten
Unfortunately,
Tomatoes.
I bet there's a scene in The Simpsons where Homer walks past a line of people going in and ruins the ending to Empire Strikes Back. I bet that happened when The Sixth Sense came out.
Yeah, yeah. 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, 90% audience score. Only an hour and 47 minutes, so that's pretty good. All right. My number two is, it's just one of my all-time favorite movies, and yeah, did really well overall everywhere. Not only at the Oscars and the box office. All the stars are superstars and will continue to work. It's crazy that when you have these superstars in this movie, that you can also shine yourself being a little girl, a little young actress. And not only is she a little young actress, but she plays a little young actress in this movie where she co-stars with Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, Austin Butler, Bruce Dern, Luke Perry, Al Pacino, Damian Lewis, Dakota Fanning, because Julia Butters as Trudy Fraser is an amazing kid performance. She is Leo DiCaprio's co-star in the movie that he's making with Rick Dalton.
Yep.
and she's not in it much, but the stuff that she does within her little realm was spectacular. We're going to see a lot from this girl. We actually have seen her since, so we know that she's going to continue to
Yeah.
work. But yeah, her playing Trudy is just
What what
fantastic. She likes to go.
what two movies is she in after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Because there are two movies that I like.
She was in The Fablemans,
Yes, that's one of them.
and
Another film with big names.
oh yeah, The Gray Man.
The Grey Man, yes.
But she's sidelined in those movies. She is not in this. She is definitely a part of.
Well, The Grey
She
Man we watched for Ryan Gosling, and The Fablemans we watched. It was directed by Steven Spielberg.
right, and she does. Yeah, she gets some time in The Fablemans, to put out a little bit of a performance, but Quentin gave her all the room to shine, and
Yeah,
she really shines. Again, when you're acting toe to toe with Leonardo DiCaprio, and everyone still remembers your performance in it, that's pretty spectacular. She's she likes to go by her character name instead of her own name. She wears elbow pads and knee pads so she can fall on the ground and not have a stunt person do it. She gives the performance for the person performing in front of her. And I also think it helped Leo's character Rick give the performance that he did
yeah,
in that movie that they were making there, TV show maybe. Just amazing. And there's also some deleted scenes that also star her in it that weren't in the movie. But she is a superstar to come, and yeah, Julia Butters as Judy Fraser and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my number two.
yes.
That was the
It,
best
it's in,
acting performance I've
it's
ever
interesting
seen.
you say that because one of my former favorite child actresses in that movie, Dakota Fanning.
Yes. And also ran for me is I Am Sam with Dakota Fanning. Great performance.
Yes,
Uh,
I'd say War of the Worlds is probably the best film I like her in. So I've not seen I Am Sam because I've seen a trailer and it doesn't look like the depiction of mental disabilities is portrayed right.
I can't really say too much to that, but I think that
Just Dustin in Rain Man gets it spot on.
well, I know. I mean, Tropic Thunder talks about it the best, right?
Never go full.
Right, but
Yeah.
I still think, even though he was going for it, like that's a really, really good performance, hands down. Nobody can question how good that performance is because it is really good. But should somebody without that disability be playing it? Maybe not. But what he did with that character was a great
I
performance.
don't mind actors without disabilities playing characters with disabilities because that's the whole point of acting, trying to be
It
another.
is that's the literal sense is that is what acting is. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood nominated for 10 Oscars, winning 2 for production design and best supporting actor for Mr. Brad Pitt. Also nominated for picture director from Quentin, also wrote it. Leo for best actor. Cinematography, screenplay, costume design, production, sound mixing, and sound editing.
That
One of my
came at
favorite
a good
all-time
time
movies.
for Brad Pitt because I think he was going through a lot with his divorce and stuff, and obviously the investigation. So I think that came at a right time for Brad Pitt. That film.
Yeah, because the character of Cliff, Cliff Booth is actually not. He's not a perfect person. He has his own sort of history as well that people would hate about him, and
And it does reflect on Brad Pitt's personal life a bit.
exactly, yeah. But he's still likable, and you still want to root for him for some reason. But yeah, there you go.
I think Brad Pitt's just an honest man who made a mistake. I don't think he's a bad person.
Yeah, I mean, if you let drugs and alcohol get to you, you're never going to be the person that you were before.
Exactly.
$90 million budget, worldwide gross 377.6, one of Tarantino's best as far as making money. 7.6 on IMDb, over on Rotten Tomatoes. There's so many Once Upon a Time movies.
Yes, there is.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sits at 100, almost 100% for me. Hold on, waiting for this Wi-Fi. Still showing me 6 cents. Well, I'll come back to it. You want to start your number one?
Yes, my number one not only got an Oscar nomination, but it was a performance that I gave the Fleming Award to for Best Supporting Actress. And not only did this actress give a good performance in this movie, but she's one of the greatest actresses of all time. And she's still acting today. And 2 years ago, she won an award for a little movie called The Mauritanian. This is Jodie Foster in one of her biggest roles to date, Taxi Driver.
Nice.
My number one.
Tell us about Taxi Driver.
So this is a Martin Scorsese movie written by Paul Strader. So you have two really good people in the industry working on a great movie together. And this film follows a New York taxi driver who's obviously suffers with PTSD from being a Vietnam War veteran. And as he works through the night, his mental state starts to deteriorate. He becomes friends with this young prostitute, played by Jodie Foster, and she's obviously been abused by her pimp, played by Harvey Keitel. And there is another story to Travis involving him trying to impress this young girl and decides to go on a rampage and shoot the bloke running for president. Which
Have not
also
seen this.
inspired a true story about one of Jodie Foster's stalkers who tried to shoot the president.
Yeah, still need to see this one.
Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah?
It's my favourite film from 1976.
Nice.
Yeah, this is one you definitely. Well, with Scorsese bringing out a new movie, maybe you should watch some of the ones you've not seen.
There's a lot I have not seen from Mr. Scorsese.
Surely you've
I've seen
seen
more
Raging
of the...
Bull.
Huh?
Surely you've seen Raging Bull.
Yeah, I've seen Raging Bull.
So you had a feeling you had.
No, I've seen Raging Bull for sure.
Surely you've seen all the Leo ones.
Well, let's see. He goes back a long ways. Short. I haven't seen New York City Melting Pot. Who's That Knocking at My Door? The Honeymoon Killers, Street Scenes, Boxcar Bertha, Mean Streets,
I've
Italian
seen Mean,
American,
right?
Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, Taxi
I'm not
Driver, New York, New York, The Last Waltz. Okay, so that's where, and then American Boy, A Profile of Stephen Prince, so 1978. So now Raging Bull is 1980. I've seen that. Have not seen Keenan Comedy.
You'll love that.
Have I seen After Hours? I might have.
After Hours.
I've seen The Color of Money. I didn't know.
I need to see that one.
He directed the Michael Jackson Bad movie.
Nice. Yeah, he's directed a lot of shorts and documentaries as well.
I've seen Goodfellas, Cape Fear. Haven't seen Age of Innocence. I've seen Casino. Haven't seen Kundun.
Not seen that one.
I've seen Bringing Out the Dead. Did not know that was him. Gangs of New York, The Aviator, The Departed,
Great movie.
Shutter Island,
Great movie.
Hugo, Wolf of Wall
Great
Street.
movie. I need to see Silence.
I've seen Silence, The Irishman, and then yeah, I'm sure I'll see Killer's Moon. So his first half, I am completely out. I have no clue.
So Raging Bull onwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What are you
Still,
getting there?
by the way, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's 85% on Rotten from the critics, 70% from the audience. Though that's not.
I do
huge.
know some people that think it's boring because there's nothing going on till the end.
That's so dumb. What do they know?
They don't know how gorgeous cinematography looks and production design.
Yeah. Well, Taxi Driver sounds great. Is he a taxi driver?
Yes, he is.
And this is the.
He becomes a taxi driver as he returns from Vietnam.
Is that where? Is that the movie where Martin Scorsese gets in the back of the cab?
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen some. Clips for sure. I mean, some of it's like iconic. Nominated for 4 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Lead Actor, Best Supporting Actress, and Best Score. Number 123 overall at a 250 on IMDb. 8.2 is the score there. Box office, but the budget was 1.3 million. Wow. Worldwide gross 28.5. So that's a hit back then. 96% on Rotten Tomatoes with the 93% audience score. Pretty good.
Nice. Pretty good, yeah.
All right. My number one. It's hard to spell. But it is a great movie with a great performance from not just one little kid, but two. I'm mainly going to talk about the lead, but I will briefly talk about the supporting kid in this movie. This movie is directed by my favorite director ever, and he does love working with kids. And the audition process was really tough for this this character that they were looking for, until this young boy came along and stole everyone's heart, because Henry Thomas as Elliot in E.T. the Extraterrestrial is my number one best kid performance in a movie. Of course, he co-stars with another great kid actor who's still beloved today, Miss Drew Barrymore.
Yes.
Fantastic in that movie as well. He the only reason why he beats her out is because he's in it more, but her playing Gertie is just as magical of a performance. But yeah, this is about a troubled kid who summons the courage to help a friendly alien who came down to escape from home and return to his home planet. Directed by Steven Spielberg. And yeah, Henry Thomas, you know, when he did his
He's not a big name like Drew Barrymore is.
no, and yeah, this is another one of those things where did so well in one of his opening movies that we don't really see him much.
Yeah, but so yeah, Gangs of New York is the only other thing I know him from.
Yeah, and that was, you know, decade later or more than that, so it's hard to even
20 years.
Yeah, it's hard to even recognize him anymore. But yeah, his audition was, they said, they press record and they said, okay, improvise, it's fine, you can say whatever you want, but your dog just died, go. And he just started crying. He's like, why would you kill my dog? Or like, why is my dog died? And he just gave a great performance, and it was on the spot. And that Steven was like, yeah, you're Elliot. And this became an iconic movie. You know, E.T. and Elliot have similar feelings. They feel the same thing that each other feels. So there's a point in the movie where E.T. starts drinking beer, and that gets Elliot drunk at school, which, they're miles away from each other. How is that possible? This is a very sweet, sweet film, and a great buddy movie because E.T. and Elliot are buddies. Yeah, I mean, it just really proves that Mr. Spielberg knows how to direct kids and make great movies with with kids that are leads, because they are the leads in this movie. And yeah, not to be overshadowed by Drew Barrymore, because she's fantastic as Gertie. I mean, just performing to an alien, a puppet, is not easy, and she really did well.
He spawned a great career.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Won 4 Oscars, nominated for 9. Best Picture, Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Cinematography, 1 for Best Sound, also nominated for Editing, 1 for Visual Effects, Sound Effects, and Score, Mr. John Williams.
Yeah, apparently Drew Barrymore went on a bit of a bender after ET.
How?
Like, we've had troubles with drugs and alcohol.
She was like 10.
No, as in like when she was in her teens.
Oh, okay. I'm like, geez, start young, huh? Beautiful, beautiful
I didn't
film.
mean straight after ET. I meant like as she went along.
Okay, yeah, yes, she did have her downs and a lot of ups. And now
Yeah,
she has like her own TV show, and uh,
she's
yeah,
been in a Batman movie and she's really good at it.
yeah. I think she's since maybe even been nominated just for 2 prime time Emmys,
She
no
directed an
Oscars.
awesome movie called Whip It. I wish she
Yeah,
would direct another one.
yes. Also, some other uh, music videos, it looks like.
Yeah,
But yeah, she has a storied career. She's got a lot of, the Charlie's Angels movies, of
yes.
course. 50 First Dates, Blended, The Wedding Singer, all great.
Donnie
I like
Darko.
Never Been Kissed a lot.
I've always wanted to see that because on the Fight Club Blu-ray, it shows up as Never Been Kissed before it turns into the Fight Club menu.
Okay, that's interesting. Riding in Cars with Boys is one of her
I've
better
always wanted to see that.
performances. And yeah, the last movie was
The Stand.
Scream. She was a voice, uncredited voice for the principal in the Scream 5.
Her last proper movie was The Stand-In.
Yeah, stand-in, and she's also been on the Santa Clarita Diet for a while. All right, let's
Now
finish
she
out.
hosts her own show.
Yeah, she has a talk show. 7.9 on IMDb for E.T., the Extraterrestrial, and His Adventures on Earth is the full title. Budget of 10.5 million. Worldwide gross $792.9 million. 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, 72% audience score.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Any also arounds?
The Four Boys from Stand By Me.
Oh yeah, classic.
Another, speaking of River Phoenix, he's also really good in Indiana Jones 3 as the young Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
There's another. I'd say the girl from Doctor Strange. She was really good. Which
Zocho.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. I have the little boy and girl in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Not only I Am Sam for Dakota Fanning, but Man on Fire as well.
As
Um,
the kids in Daddy Daycare.
the little girl, oh, I forget her name at the moment, but from Florida Project,
Oh
Ble-
yes,
uh, uh,
yes.
Brooklyn. She's fantastic. Uh, I mentioned this last week, but um, Home Alone,
Yes, Macaulay Culkin.
Macaulay Culkin, but not just Home Alone, also from The Good Son.
Yes.
Beast of the Southern Wild that Quvenzhañ Wallace is fantastic. Jacob Tremblay in Room.
Yes. Oh my God, that should have been my number one. Does he's even better in that than Brie Larson is?
And then really fun.
How do you outshine an Oscar-winning performance like that?
Yeah. Julian Dennison from The Hunt for the Wilder People is also fantastic.
Yes, he is. He is. And although it's a TV show, the kids from Stranger Things.
Yeah. Yeah. Kiki Palmer and Aquila and the Bee. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Angels in the Outfield.
Ooh,
This came up a lot. Saoirse Ronan and Atonement.
I need to see Atonement.
I'm surprised the kid from Belfast wasn't on your list.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't put him on there.
Of course, Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint.
And the other kids.
Sure. Roman Griffith Davis and Jojo Rabbit.
Yes, and Thomas and Mackenzie for that movie as well.
Yeah, these are ones that are on lists that we didn't talk about. Sonny Pawar and Lion, Alan Kim and Minari.
Yes, I was watching Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Just
McKenna
saw
Grace,
that too.
Logan Kim, the girl from Eternals. She's also great.
Anna Paquin and the Piano.
Yes, that should have been on my list as well.
And then this is a good one, Haley Steinfeld and True Grit.
Yes, that was one I was debating. And for British fans, the boy from This Is England, Thomas Turgoose.
Nice. Well, I think we've said them all.
Yeah, I think we have.
Cool. How about a movie, a recommendation for the week?
Oh, what movies have I recently seen? I recently saw something for the first time. I can't remember what it was.
I'll talk about mine then.
Sure.
Since I don't do new movies, can't really talk about them right now until the SAG strike is over. I've been doing a lot of reviews and rewatches of movies and then reviewing them. And the one that I am going to be putting out today is from my favorite actor, comedic actor for sure, Mr. Jim Carrey. It's Liar, Liar.
Nice.
You've seen
Great
that?
movie. Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, he's a father who doesn't hang out with his kid much because he's a lawyer and we're always working. And his kid makes a wish that his dad can't lie for 24 hours, and that wish comes true. And as a lawyer, I think you need to lie more than in other jobs to help win cases. And yeah, it's hilarious to watch him try not to lie, and just his comedic timing and just presence on screen is phenomenal. And Liar Liar, I highly, highly recommend it.
Nice. Good shout. Good shout.
Also a great kid performance in that movie.
Yes, from the little boy.
Yeah.
It's got one of my favorite actresses in it, Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah, Justin Cooper plays Max Reed. Tom Shadyack's the director. 6.9 on IMDb. Budget of 45 million, worldwide gross 302.7. Pretty good.
I need to use Letterbox more for my activities because sometimes I forget. Oh, here is. Yes, I'm going to recommend a Spanish movie from Mr. Pedro Almodovar, starring Antonio Banderas. It's The Skin I Live In.
Yeah, yeah, one of the better ones. What a weird, crazy movie that is.
You seen it before?
Yeah, absolutely. I like
Yes.
a good old Almodovar movie.
Who doesn't?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yes. He
What's the
plays a
movie?
plastic surgeon who's kidnapped somebody and he's trying to make them into his wife, look like what his wife used to look like.
Yeah, and it's keeping her trapped.
Yes, it's a horror story, but without screams or frights.
Yeah, but it's scary. I mean, imagine if somebody kept you under your will somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. And I mean, anything Almodovar does is pretty darn good.
He does. The next
81%
one
on.
I'm going to try of his is Vola,
Hmm.
the Penelope Cruz one.
Hmm. That's good. 7.6 on IMDb for that.
Nice.
Budget of 10 million euro, I guess. Worldwide gross is 33.7, so I think that's good. 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, 84% audience score.
Nice.
IMDb says 7.6, so there you go.
I guess you
Both
can't go
great
wrong
movies.
with Almodovar then.
No, never. Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Take a look.
Yes.
Cool. What are we going to do next week?
So I need to watch Knock at the Cabin because obviously I'm trying to sort out the 2022-23 Halloween Pumpkin Awards. I've been backdating the 2000s and I've got a lot of good results from it.
Nice.
So I think we should rank the movies of M. Night Shyamalan, but there's a twist to it. Instead of doing his worst to best, we're going to be doing his best to worst.
Okay. That's a twist.
Yeah, that's the twist.
So he's done Praying with Anger,
We'll,
Wide
we'll,
Awake.
we'll, we'll skip that one because that one's hard to find.
Okay.
But
Wide Awake.
wide awake onwards, yeah.
Sixth Sense, Unbreakable Signs, The Village, Lady in the Water, The Happening, The Last Airbender, After Earth, The Visit, Split, Glass, Old, and Knock at the Cabin.
Yes.
All right, I need to see The Lady in the Water, and I definitely need to rewatch The Last Airbender. And then I also need to see Wide Awake. So I have a lot to get through.
Yes. Well, wide awake's all right.
It has Rosie O'Donnell in it? I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh my God. As a nun, this is the best.
It's his most normal film, Wide Awake. Like
Uh,
you wouldn't picture it was written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
yeah. Praying with Anger, his first film, also stars him.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, I'm in.
Yes. M. Night Shyamalan.
And nice.
I'm ignoring what you said about Knock at the Cabin. I'm just going off my own belief.
As you should.
Yeah,
As
well,
everyone should.
yeah, yeah. People should always go off their own opinion, even if it's an unpopular one.
Mm-hmm. I should watch The Visit again.
Oh, The Visit's fun.
How to watch. Praying with Anger can be found on YouTube if you want to go that route. Okay, cool. That sounds good. Let's get out of here.
Yes. Yes, let's get to watching M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Okay. All right. Well,
And
we're
next week we'll do the past lives thing for your channel.
yes, I need to watch it.
Yes, and are you
And
up
I'm
for the
look.
are you up for the School of Rock review idea?
Yeah, of course.
Sweet,
Love me some School of Rock.
sweet.
Haven't seen it in a while.
Well, I thought if you're doing reviews, it'd be fun to do one with you.
Sure. Yeah. Now's the time.
Yeah, now's the time.
Cool. Well, we'll do that then, and until then, you can tell us your favorite kid performances in movies down below. Like, subscribe, comment. We want to hear all about it.
Yes, yes, and check me out on YouTube for more videos. I need to watch. I need to do more. I need to complete more directors' films. So I can do more director videos. And yeah, if you want to join in the fun at the Fleming Awards, join our Facebook group.
Yeah. Every day there's something going on over there, so it's definitely active. Check it
Yeah,
out.
best way to stay active is to have a better head.
There you go. Do all that, and
Yes,
we'll keep doing this. Thank you all for viewing.
yes, thank you, Justin, for coming on.
My pleasure. Love it. Thanks for having me.
It's all right, always a pleasure to have you on board and chat movies.
It's how we became friends.
Exactly,
Cool.
exactly.
All right, Rob. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
All right, mate.
Until next time.
Until next time. Bye, Justin.
Later.
Later.